Welcome back to Raptor After Dark. My name is Brock Gardner. I'm joined by my co-host Zachary Jones.
Zach.
Zach, yeah, sorry, just Zach. Didn't mean to say the full government name.
No, you usually just ask me to say my own name.
Yeah, sorry. I'm really revved up and roused up all over to the place today because we're down one co-host and I have to overcompensate for the lack of a third person on the show.
You want to get the real estate guy that's in the office next to us in here?
Could do that. Ask about the slimy real estate business. Our faithful co-host is gone today, and so we are here filling in, just us two. And hopefully, Zach's knowledge and my wit and charm can carry us to the end and give us something
Enlightening
and entertaining. So I took your advice, Zach, and I went to Ask Marketing also. So we opened it up to more general marketing stuff.
I was really hoping you were going to say Ask Jeeves.
I opened it up to Ask Jeeves, so we went to Ask Jeeves. That's the weekly Ask Jeeves mention on the podcast.
Did you hear that Ask Jeeves is, I think they're actually gone away at this point, like they're finished?
We legitimately talked about it on the show.
Like I know we talked about them going away, but I think they're officially out at ski.
It's over.
Jeeves has not been around for a fat minute.
Just Ask.
Yeah, Jeeves went the wayside, like mid 2000s, I want to say.
Jeeves gave up the ghost.
Yeah, and then it's been just ask.com for ever since then, and they never really won over that market share.
Is Ask Jeeves more like Quora or is it like Google?
It was just a search engine. It started off as Google, and I believe it evolved. I didn't really ever use it after that. I mean, I remember using it in middle school because for some reason there was like a couple month stretch there where Google was banned because some kids found some naughty images on image search.
It was banned from the school?
Whole school district.
Really?
So we had to use askjeeves.com for like a couple months.
That's crazy.
Until they figured out how Safe Search existed. And
has it always existed? When did Safe Search?
I don't remember.
Hey Siri, when was Safe Search implemented in Google? 1999.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah, they basically figured a way to lock that down so kids would stop being little deviants.
Remember, you ever hear that story when they went to that isolated tribe and gave them the internet, and the first thing they did was just get an addiction?
No.
Yeah, it's a real thing. You give a mouse a cookie, man. I tell you, that book rings true. Has anyone noticed that marketing is becoming more of a trust problem than a traffic problem? A few years ago, most of our conversations revolved around getting more clicks, more followers, and more website visits. Lately, I'm not sure that's the biggest bottleneck anymore. I've seen brands with strong SEO, decent social reach, and healthy traffic numbers still struggle to convert visitors into customers. At the same time, smaller brands with less visibility seem to build stronger communities and more consistent demand. It makes me wonder if the real challenge now is trust. People research more before buying. They check reviews, they search Reddit, they ask ChatGPT, they compare alternatives. They look for signals that a company understands their problem before they ever fill out a form. We've tested small changes like replacing polished brand messaging with actual customer language from sales calls, simplifying lead capture experiences, and highlighting customer stories more prominently. In some cases, those changes moved conversion metrics more than increasing traffic did. Curious what others are seeing. What has worked for you? I would agree with this sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly sounds like they're doing all the right things, and that's one of those things where there's no right answer. The one thing that will work for one business may not do, that might not move the needle at all for another business.
Yeah.
One thing, if you're talking about like meeting projections and things like that, just depending on like the current economic outlook, maybe you just need to adjust your projections. There just is no magic bullet to hitting that number. And like, especially right now, things are a little bit tight. People have less money. Things cost more. So there's going to be an overall just lack of consumer spending, which, that trickles into just businesses in general. So it's like sometimes you got to adjust your targets to fit those factors. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really hear anything bad in there.
Yeah. What helps you trust a brand? say you're looking for what's something that you'd really want to trust?
It's completely flipped on its head from what I would say maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
If you go to Amazon and like let's say pre-pandemic, you go to Amazon, you're searching for 5-star reviews because you know that that means that um, if they have an abundance of 5 stars, then it's a good product.
Yeah.
You can order it without hesitation, knowing it's going to be good.
Yeah. That's
Um,
still what I do. So what changed?
Fast forward, you have people just basically farming these 5-star reviews, constantly breaking their terms of service, basically saying, "Hey, leave us a 5-star review, and we'll give you like a $15 or $20 gift card or whatever."
That's illegal.
That's against their terms of service. You
Okay.
can't incentivize anybody, and this honestly goes for most platforms. You can't incentivize anybody for a positive review. The jury is out on some of them if you can do it just for a review in general. That's not exactly against the rules on a lot of platforms. So it's like you're like, hey, just leave us a review. It doesn't have to be good or bad, just a review, and we'll reward you by doing that. To my knowledge, I still think that's a no-no to Amazon.
Interesting.
And that's why you'll go to buy something from a company. I've honestly done it before. I'm like, yeah, I'll leave them a review. I told them my honest experience with the product,
Yeah.
and they send me like a $20 gift card or whatever. And then I promptly delete the review after that. But
Nice.
no, I've never done that. But
Based.
I've noticed that I will maybe go to buy like I used to do this quite often with like those around the neck Bluetooth headphones
Yeah.
that a lot of people used to wear before they started switching to just the pods.
Yeah.
I would need to buy like a new one of those like every year.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like $30, and I would honestly like get like a $25 card just by leaving the review. So
Dang.
I was fine having to buy a new one once a year, essentially for $5 cost.
Yeah.
I felt like that was worth it. They would last about a year before one of the ears would go out. But then I got noticing I had to go back and try and buy it, and that brand, that company just wouldn't exist on Amazon. And it'd be the exact same product, exact same everything, except for the branding would be different.
Yeah.
Which tells me that they kept getting caught. They'd get their account terminated. They would just basically swap the branding and start it up again. So that honestly doesn't really build any trust for me anymore. It's just like you'll see a product, it'll have a billion reviews, and they're all just farmed and they're not legit. And then it goes away after, a year or so, maybe a few months, once the scheme catches up with them.
Yeah.
So that doesn't build as much trust with me as it used to. That with the overall just degradation of goods that you can get from there.
Yeah.
I honestly, Google still is a pretty good source just because you can't, I mean, if you leave a review on Google, it's tied to typically your actual name.
Yeah.
They're pretty good about weeding out burner accounts and things like that. Those usually get removed pretty quickly. So Google's still got a pretty good handle on it. I trust those reviews quite often. If I'm like searching for a business and see that they have a pretty good rating on Google, I'll go and, I'll check those out. If I see that they have a bunch of bad reviews, sometimes I'll read through them just to see what the story is. And usually they all kind of ring about the same. They're all complaining about the same thing, and that gives me a good picture. So, honestly, public reviews are still a good one. Don't ever trust just a straight just review on someone's website if it's not like an official Google embed, just because you can make up whatever you want and put it on your website, and there's no way to fact check it. But
do you use Reddit ever? Like, what are some good? Like, sometimes I go to Buy It for Life. I feel like that's a pretty decent subreddit to check sometimes.
yeah, and so they released a statistic this last week of where specifically Gemini, but a lot of the other big ones, I think the only one that wasn't mentioned in there was Claude, where they're getting the majority of their sources. And Reddit was by far the biggest feeder of these AI for like reviews and recommendations.
Yeah.
Which, that's resulted in all these companies going out and be like, oh, we just need to spam Reddit and get on these subreddits. So you'll have companies going to the Buy It for Life subreddit, which used to be an awesome subreddit.
Yeah.
And just shilling their products on there, hoping that it'll get dragged into the AI recommendations, and then they'll see an influx of it. So
what the hell do we do?
It's still a common thing. You'll go to Reddit, you'll type in a thing, or you'll go to Google, you'll type in your search, and you'll append it with Reddit at the end of it.
Yeah.
Hoping you'll get to it. And, it still works. You got to do your due diligence. You got to do your research, and you'll find out really quickly if somebody is shilling something, because the Reddit community is essentially just a bunch of detectives,
Yeah.
and they can call people out for the crap really fast.
Yeah.
So it takes an extra step to make sure it's not just a solicited post, and usually it works, but it's getting there. It's getting saturated. It's
Yeah.
anything that feeds the beast will get ruined really fast.
Yeah. That's really upsetting. So if you're a company and you are trying to build more trust with your audience, what are some ways you could do that without being like scammy, without doing the Reddit, going and spamming subreddits with your product? Like, what are some good? To me, the first thing that comes to mind is, well, even then, I was gonna say like UGC ads, like user generated content, which is basically like an ad that is allegedly some person just filming like, oh, I got this product in the mail and blah blah blah. Those are the ads that are the top dogs, UGC ads.
Influencers are big right now in that space.
But now even that is like, when I say a UGC ad, I know that person
They were paid to say
were
that.
paid. Yeah, I know they were paid to say that. So even that is hard to trust, or like really anything is hard to trust on the internet. I'm trying to think if there are some ways that a company could show.
Partner with JonTron.
Yeah, partner with JonTron.
Dude, I bought so much flex tape after that JonTron
Did
video.
you really?
No.
Oh.
But that's the only reason I know about flex tape.
Yeah, I've never bought flex tape. It feels hokey to buy.
I've experienced it. I've never bought it, but there's
Yeah.
a piece of flex tape that's holding on the gas door on my car, and it's been on there for like 8 years.
Damn.
And it's still holding strong.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Phil Swift. But yeah, like
big friend of the podcast.
Big friend of the podcast. Yeah, loves the show. I'm trying to think of like for example, something that I've purchased. I started buying you're familiar with Moist Critical, Charlie. For whatever, I really like Moist Critical.
Whip out the impression.
I don't have a good Charlie.
Do the rest of this in his voice.
I don't have a good Charlie impression. No, I'm not going to try it. I'll practice it and I'll do it on the next show. But yeah, I'm a white person, so I love Moist Critical.
Do the whole next podcast in his voice and
As
see if
Charlie
Joseph picks up on it.
Yeah. But they like started a soap brand, and because I like Charlie and I trusted Charlie because of what I've seen of his videos, I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a box of 12 of this soap, because it was supposed to be like clean ingredients and all this stuff and moisturizing, and so I tried it and I liked it. But I bought it because I trusted the dude that made the thing, because he already had an established brand. So that's like that's the only thing I can think of, is like if you are an influencer that people trust and it's your thing. I don't know though, because everything else could be taken as.
So I would say, like, honestly, at the top of the list, if you're talking about building trust in your product or service,
Make something good.
have a good product or service.
Yeah.
That will do more good than honestly anything else on the list, because if you have a good product and market it as good, that'll work. If you have a bad product and market it as good, then people will catch on pretty quickly, and that basically won't put you any further than all the billion other companies out there to do that.
Yeah.
We talked about the age of enshittification quite
Yeah.
a while back, and that honestly falls in line with that.
Yeah.
If you have a decent product and it's good, it, by the rules of, I guess, the market, it should do well.
Yeah.
It has to be something that's in demand that people want. It's really hard to sell luxury accommodation. Like it's hard to sell luxury products in a time where people have little spending money, when they're
Yeah.
basically just being broke, filling up with gas right now. So it's like, have something that people need. That would help. But honestly, do what you can to show that you believe in the product, and that kind of spills over.
Yeah.
UGC ads, they're hit and miss. There's so many out there. Like I can't. Like I've used Raycons before.
Yeah.
Wasn't a big fan of it. There are
Okay.
people who are big fans of it.
Those are shilled on every podcast.
Every YouTuber ever has done an ad read for Raycon, and I
Yeah.
guarantee you none of them have actually used them outside of the parameters that they were required to for the ad read.
Yeah.
I will bet any YouTuber out there that reads you a 45-second ad spot for Raycon, after that's done, they take them out and put their AirPods in.
Yeah.
They're,
Wait,
they're,
who made Raycon? Isn't it like a singer?
I don't know. They're I
Like
mean,
R. Kelly or something?
they're definitely better than the store brand AirPods that you can get. Um, like just the standard buds that you can put in. I wouldn't really compare them to like I'm partial to the Pixel Buds. I know you like your AirPods.
Yeah, I'm a big AirPods
I
fan.
put those kind of two on a step above the Raycon. That's kind of like a middle tier, but I just personally didn't like the feel of it. But it's like every podcaster ever has done an ad read for those things.
Yeah, by the way, so Raycon is made by Ray J, who has with Kim Kardashian, and that's their tape.
Allegedly.
No, there's a tape.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's who she was doing.
I'll be in the link in the description.
Link in the description. Go check out the Kim K tape with Ray J. Also AirPods. The new design of AirPods is trash. like terrible. I don't know why they're way worse. The AirPods Pro 2s that I have, I take in the sauna with me and they kick. They fit better in my ear, and the only upgrade with these new ones is the battery life is like double. But they don't like. I took them in the sauna once and they just like they almost exploded, and I don't. What happened here?
You know, the most frustrating ones are the very first buds that I got, just to kind of see if I liked carrying them around in the little case versus around the neck. Were the ONN brand, the On brand
Oh yeah.
that you can get at Walmart.
Yeah.
Those like made me crash out so often because they
Why?
would just randomly pause. They were so
Yeah.
sensitive. If you yawned, it would think you took them out because it would just like detect a change.
Oh
in
yeah,
pressure,
dude. Yeah.
and they would pause. And I at one like there were points where I almost just threw them out my car
Yeah.
window, dude. They would piss me off so
No,
much.
absolutely. That's another thing, by the way. These freaking noise, and this might just be my specific AirPods are defective. You're supposed to be able to press and hold, and it switches from noise canceling. You can set it so it can go from noise canceling to transparency or
Yeah.
noise canceling to normal. And I have it set. I want it to go from transparency to noise canceling, and it's set like that on my phone. But no matter what I do, it will only go from transparency to normal. It will not go to noise canceling with my freaking when I press and hold, and it makes me want to kill someone.
Who actually uses transparency?
Yeah. By the way, also, yeah. Why is that a thing?
It should just I if I could just
It
factor
should
that off, I
just
would.
be noise canceling.
Yeah. Just noise canceling or not. Transparency is like so just disorienting, especially if you're like walking down the street and there's traffic.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. At that point I just have only one ear pod in.
They also drain your battery life too. So
Yeah. Anyways, this is not the earbuds podcast, but what's one marketing skill that became way more important than you expected? I've been learning more about SEO, content marketing, and social media recently, and one thing that surprised me is how connected everything feels. A lot of people say traffic matters most, but I'm starting to realize that things like copywriting, positioning, branding, and understanding audience intent may matter just as much. For people working in marketing, what's one skill you underestimated at first but later realized was extremely important?
probably good design concepts, like when you're building a website, because that's my forte.
Yeah.
There's a lot of platforms out there that's like do-it-yourself web builders. They're like drag and drop templates, our intuitive whatever builder engine thing
Yeah.
that you've heard every YouTuber mention before.
Wix.
/Squarespace. They're good products. They let you churn out a fast thing quickly, but if you want to run your business on something like that, you are competing against everybody else using a similar platform, and it's just you are basically all running with the same engine under the hood essentially, which there's no way to get an edge up on that.
Yeah.
So having the ability to actually just build your website rather than relying on a drag and drop editor gives you the ability to actually go in and add in fundamental things that will actually move the needle from an SEO perspective.
Yeah.
You're not playing with the same deck that every other person is playing with. It gives you an edge up, and it also opens up more powerful options. You can use plugins, you can run scripts, you can do all sorts of stuff that basically you couldn't if you were on one of these stock editors. So it's like Would you want to drive, if you were going to like be in a street race, would you want to just drive a stock car from the dealership that everybody else has access to, or do you want to drive like a souped up sports
I
car?
want a 10-second car.
Yeah. So that's kind of like one thing that I've learned. There's a lot of people that will try so hard for so long to make it work with like their homemade drag and drop website, and they're like, man, this is just not getting anything. Um, so if you have the ability to do it on a different platform, like WordPress is my forte. There's other ones out there that are good. You could just build it straight out of PHP if you want. That really frees you up to kind of move the needle.
Yeah. So how come most websites suck? There's so many websites from big businesses that are terrible.
You want to know who has the worst websites? That
Who? The government.
any government slash
called
state
it.
ran thing.
Yeah.
They're just atrocious. They are minimum 15 years out of date. Half the links don't work anymore.
Yeah.
And we have entire infrastructures that run on this crap that they refuse to update. Like I was trying to find like a grant thing from like a list of grantees that was supposed to be added to our county website, to kind of see what the results were on a thing that our city applied for. And navigating that website was just making me just rage super hard, dude. And I'm like, dude, this is a government website and it runs like trash.
It's kind of an allegory for the actual government. It's like, oh, this shit is so out of date. We need to just get a refresh here, get a new design.
And then it will, if you were to ever go back and like find like how much they paid for that, go back to like 2007, they probably paid somebody $250,000 to build that website.
That's absurd. I'm calling out Megaplex right now. Megaplex app / website used to be, it wasn't great, but it was usable. Their new design, they redid their whole thing. It's terrible. Megaplex, if you're watching this, hire me and Zach to do your stuff, because what you got right now, I use the Megaplex app every day because I'm a real one. It's awful. It's terrible. There's so many features that you could implement so easily that would make the experience better. Please reach out, because you're killing yourselves. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Okay, what marketing advice sounded great in theory but didn't work for you in practice? I've realized that a lot of marketing advice depends on the industry, audience, and goals. What worked for someone else hasn't always worked for me. What's one piece of marketing advice you stopped following, and what did you do instead?
Have you used AI to just end the sentence right
Yeah,
there?
Yeah. Optimize your...
So I keep getting these freaking ads, regardless of how many times I say I'm not interested, of this Gen Z dude sitting in his living room at his computer, and some other dude walks up to him. And he's like, hey, how do you optimize your SEO for your clients? And he's like, oh, I just do this. And he clicks like 2 buttons, and he's like, and AI does the rest. It does this, it generates this, it builds your whole website, it runs your whole business. And then he just makes it seem like it's just the magic bullet that doesn't quit. And then you got to realize that SEO is built to feed off of original organic content. It's really, if you look at it from that perspective, you are feeding Google, you're feeding these other search engines rich content so they can continue to grow their algorithm. They are going to reject AI generated content. So if you're trying to run your entire marketing division off of AI generated stuff, that is going to result in you basically getting delisted. And I've seen people do that with their websites, and they're like, oh, I'm going to just cancel my SEO specialist, fire my guy who does it or whatever, and replace my employee with AI. And then they slowly realize that, yeah, it does do stuff, but when you have something that anybody else can do with the click of a button, they're all going to do it, and it just becomes immediately saturated right away.
Yeah.
And this might go back into the previous question of what's like a skill or something that you feel like wouldn't have come in handy. Honestly, we're getting to the point where something like writing is going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
So many people have no idea how to just even compose an email anymore.
Yeah.
let alone write a comprehensive article or something like that.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very high valued skill if you fast forward like 5-10 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Could be that everybody just loses the ability to read altogether. Maybe it just goes by the wayside,
That would be epic.
but yeah, that's a big one. Is basically just thinking that there is this thing that you can click and look at this attractive Gen Z influencer and be like, yeah, it's super easy. I just built this all with Claude.
Yeah.
Just do this, you just do this, and it just does it all for you.
Yeah.
It does tens of hours worth of work in 5 seconds, and then you can just sit back and binge watch your shows or whatever.
Booyah.
And then you realize that, oh yeah, it just generates nothing but crap for you,
Yeah.
and it just basically tanks your website rankings, and suddenly nobody's finding you on Google.
Yeah. Guys, nothing. Everything that is difficult is always worth it. Nothing good ever comes easy. Always remember that, okay? In all your aspects of life. Moving on. Maxing. This one is a little bit of a silly one.
It looks maxing.
Hi, all. I work at a tech company, and our CEO has recently launched a new website and brand identity without consulting the wider team. One thing that stands out is the heavy use of terms like AI maxing and productivity maxing throughout the marketing materials. My concern is that the suffix maxing is strongly associated with internet meme culture and terms such as looks maxing. Because of those associations, I'm worried this marketing strategy may come across as unprofessional or potentially alienating to some audiences. He seems to be blissfully unaware. I'd be interested to hear other professionals' perspectives. Am I overthinking this, or would you also view this type of branding as a potential risk for a business trying to establish credibility?
Dude, I will tip my hat to anybody who can successfully pull off meme advertising.
I tip my fedora to you, sir, and my fingerless gloves.
Like, if you can like just go all in on a meme.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's Siri. What's the average lifespan of a meme?
Hey Siri, what's the average lifespan of a meme? 4 months.
So I mean, if you're willing to go all in on meme culture,
Yeah.
and you can make that work, that is awesome, and I respect it. But with that in mind, that's a risky move. You are basically working. The clock is working against you there. And the bigger thing is, who are your clients? If you are working in a well-respected field and you have clients who are of a certain culture, of the upper class, the upper crust per se, and they don't want to be associated with somebody who's into meme culture, you might lose some high-value clients.
Listen, if you have a client that doesn't want to be associated with somebody that's into meme culture, you don't want that client.
I mean, you might if it pays the bills.
I will add something. Looks maxing has been around for probably almost 2 years now. It's stayed in the zeitgeist for a while.
I've only honestly been hearing about it for like a month or two.
Well, because it started as sort of a real thing and it was more niche, and then it became a meme, and now that meme has evolved into maxing as a suffix is sort of just it's just a part of the language now.
Yeah, I feel like it's spilled into the pop culture in the last few months, which means that it has a limited lifespan now.
We'll see.
The thing that comes to mind, you've been watching Better Call Saul.
I watched one season.
I don't know if it's in the first season. It's when he gets hired by this law firm. Because his brother's law firm won't take him, so he ends up going to this other one that partners with them.
Yes, I
and
did
then
get to that.
he runs an ad
Yes.
that's highly successful. It
Yes.
generates a bunch of calls, but then it pisses off the partner lawyers at the firm.
Yeah.
And he isn't getting it. He's like, "What's the big deal? This worked." And then they basically have to tell him, "It's like, listen, we get that, but that is only applicable to a certain set of clients, and that doesn't pay the bills. This is just for this one class action case." He's like, "We have other extremely high value clients that do not want to be associated with something like this."
Yeah.
So you have to look at it from a business perspective. If you run the risk of alienating your important high value clientele, then absolutely stay away from that as far as you can.
Yeah.
If you're more in like the hip and now genre, yeah, go for it. I would just weigh the amount of money you're going to spend on it and make sure that you're willing to lose whatever you're willing to put in, that you're not hinging your whole business on it.
Davison, Maine.
Yeah, that's the one.
I've been thinking about that for the last 20 seconds. Yeah, I never understood that part of the show.
It's the first thing. It's like the first domino that falls that turns him into Saul Goodman, because he has like these really trashy commercials that he just goes all in
Well,
on.
I never thought that commercial was trashy. That's why I was confused.
It just wasn't elegant.
I feel like they should have leaned into it a little bit more.
He does some sketchy stuff. He like goes to like a air base and has like this one dude stand up so they can get like a shot of him in his uniform, when it's really just like some homeless guy they found.
What? I don't remember that bit.
But yeah, that's basically, that starts him down that path.
Yeah.
But it's like the law firm itself, they're like, listen, we have a lot of just really prestigious clients,
Yeah.
and they will just immediately go the other way if they see that we're involved with like this pandering to the public type stuff, because they don't want to be associated with the common filth in the
They
world.
just wanted that blue screen with the. I really liked that
the
bit.
swirl or whatever.
I liked that bit when it showed them like. They were like, yeah, it took them like weeks to decide on what way the thing's gonna like swirl and stuff. I thought that was really funny. All right, what time are we at? 34.
We got time for one more.
Yeah, let's do one or two. What's one marketing habit you've changed in the last year? I've found myself spending less time chasing every new trend and more time focusing on what consistently works. Has your approach to marketing changed recently? This is kind of similar to the other one, but do we have anything more to add? Basically,
No, it hasn't. I've been doing the exact same thing for like 12 years now.
Yeah.
No.
Never
Honestly, it's just like, everything constantly changes in marketing.
Yeah.
You have just untold amounts of just AI slop out there that you have to basically just like constantly dodge left and right.
Yeah.
Technologies change, integrations change, the ad market has shifted. So it's like, yes, half the things we do now are different than half the things that we did a year ago.
Yeah. The ads thing really is crazy to me. How they just
don't work.
It's so weird. How does that business model work for them?
I don't know.
Like, what's the goal there? I guess because people are still paying, but you would think that it would be more.
There's a lot of businesses that treat ads as a utility and they will just run them indefinitely.
Yeah.
Not even aware that they're maybe breaking even on them.
Yeah.
And that's what happens a lot, especially with like these big ones. I've seen a lot of people have an identical experience with like Meta ads, for example, where yes, they're getting clicks, they're getting purchases.
Yeah.
But those barely outweigh the amount of their ad spend. They are not anywhere near exceeding that, like by a meaningful amount.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like there's just so many companies that be like, yeah, this is our ad budget. And they don't even look at it and be like, oh, we're not even making a profit on this. Maybe half the year we're just like in a loss in our ads.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen just so many businesses honestly just tank because they go all in on ads.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, nobody's clicking on my ad, or oh, my ad cost is like $500 per conversion and I only get like $700 for doing the job. Yeah. So I'm like at this job all day and I net like $100 profit and I've got 2 guys to pay. So it's like, yeah, it's something. And I've seen that across like so many different industries lately in the last year or so. And the whole ad climate has just, it's got to be upended soon. Otherwise, I don't see it surviving.
Yeah. Organic isn't really easy to do, but I feel like it's a lot more effective. Like most kids my age make their purchasing decisions off of, oh, I saw this thing on TikTok. So and so uses this shampoo or whatever.
How much money do kids your age really have, Brock?
Some of them more than others. I'm in the lower tier, monetarily speaking. But creatively speaking, I would say I'm in the upper echelon. But yeah, that's wild. Sorry, my head started to hurt even more. Worse. And this is pretty much the exact same question that we've already answered 3 times. Brock, past Brock, what were you thinking?
Any good movies coming out?
I'm going to see Evil Dead on Thursday. It's going to be fun. I don't know if it will be good. I really hope it is. I really liked Evil Dead Rise. That was the last one that came out in 2023. Lee Cronin. Then there's a movie called The Invite with Seth Rogen that I'm going to go see on Tuesday. It's been getting really good reviews, so I'm pretty excited for that one.
Still a few weeks out from Brand New Day.
Yep, Brand New Day comes out on July 31st. I'm going on the 29th or 30th. Going to one of the early screenings. It's a packed house. Going with my friend who really loves Spider-Man, so that's going to be fun. The Odyssey on the 18th. I'm going to watch an IMAX with another friend. And there's a couple other movies that I hope play in the theaters here.
When's Resident Evil coming out? September?
Yeah, September 10 or something. That one is really... If I had to pick my most anticipated movies of this year...
Doomsday is number 1 on your list.
Doomsday is obviously number 1 now. No. I'm excited. I'm excited for Doomsday. That is very anticipated because they're both going to be fun to watch. I don't think Doomsday is going to be not fun to watch. It will be a big, fun, dumb roller coaster.
Who's directing? Is it Russo brothers?
I think it's the Russos again.
Have they ever steered us wrong?
Endgame. Yeah. Yeah, they have. In fact, their last movie. But other than that, no, they're great. They made Community,
Endgame's
so
fine. Endgame's perfectly fine.
Endgame is a bad movie.
It's decent. It's good watch. It's fun.
They've made some stinkers, bro. The Gray Man, The Electric State. They've been on a cold streak the last almost decade. They've been on a cold streak, bro.
What's our last question?
Sorry. You got me talking about movies.
Sorry, I thought we were done, but then I saw you had one more.
If you had $50,000 to build a startup today, what would you build?
So I've always had this idea.
Okay.
Bubble wrap's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Packing tape's a thing, right?
Yeah.
To my knowledge, I don't think bubble tape exists. I've tried to buy it. I can't buy it anywhere.
What would bubble tape do?
It's just bubble wrap that's tape.
So you tape around the entire box?
Tape around the inside of the box, tape it around the product in the box. Who knows? Just, I feel like there's a use for it.
Interesting. I'll give you $500,000 for 10% of your company.
Take it.
Sorry for this episode.
I thought we had some good topics here.
Yeah, we actually had some good talks. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next week with Joseph Stevenson, and we'll all be hunky-dory, and hopefully my head will stop hurting. Goodbye.